Okie dokie, here we go. Test drive this R18. Beautiful bike. Doing my pre-ride check. Looks pretty great. Alright, let's go. Okay, yeah, you really feel the weight of the bike. Kickstand is a little bit of a reach. Power on. Woo! Really do feel the bike kick on here. Woo! It's shaky. More shaky than I thought it would be. Let's try that one more time. Alright. Smooth gear shift. Just gotta walk it out. A little hard to get to the shifter. We'll see. I do feel a little claustrophobic with these jugs in my way. We'll see. Woo! Okay, first off, that gear shifter is really hard to get to. However, smooth shifts. Suspension feels better than my Indian. Let's see. Alright, the other thing is the dash is a little hard to see because there's glare right there. The way it's angled, there's glare in my eyes. The bike does feel kind of heavy, but when I pull off, all that disappears. Handlebars are nice and comfortable. Seating is nice and neutral. Yeah, I have to adjust that foot lever for me. It's a little tight. Alright, on startup there, the bike did shake a lot. And one weird thing is when you go down the first, it's like almost like there's still some play in the gear lever, so it's almost like a Moto Guzzi where you get that shift down and then you push down again and there's still play there, but it doesn't go any further. I'm used to just the hard stop of the Indian or most other bikes. At a standstill, the bike is pretty shaky. Okay, you can also feel that clutch engagement pretty viscerally on your arm there. Oh, okay. Seems a little clunkier than what I envisioned in my head. We'll see. Heated grips. Okay. It's weird, you can feel the bike kind of kicking randomly. Let's turn some heated grips on, let's see what happens. Alright, initial first impressions. A lot more shaky than I thought it would be. The bike does shimmy. When you let go of the clutch, the bike kind of shakes and you can really feel it. I feel like I'm not revving it enough. Yep. Yep. That first gear really trips me out, being the negative space there, but it's just something to get used to. No rev counter, so not really sure what RPM you're at. Don't know if there's a digital rev counter. Nope. There might be one. I doubt there is. So compared to my Chief, the engine is a little bit more characterful, more shaky. Don't know if I like that or not. But overall it feels pretty good. And what's good about it is you can really feel that clutch engagement when you're rolling on the throttle and letting the clutch out. You can really feel that clutch engagement move. Very nice. I do dig the position of the bars. Alright, these heated grips are on and they are working through my gloves. Pretty nice. Yeah, so one weird thing is you can feel the engine, it's in its natural rhythm, and then you'll feel it sort of kick a little bit every once in a while, just at a standstill. Pretty interesting. Definitely really shaky on the lower gears here. We're just cutting through traffic. Woo! Those heated grips are coming to life. Just turn that down a little bit, I think. See, the thing about heated grips to me is that it only heats the center of your palm and not your fingertips. And for me, my fingertips is where it really gets cold. Yeah, on low revs, that boxer engine's super shaky. It almost feels like you're gonna stall the bike out a little bit. And this is my first time on a boxer engine, so take that for what you will. Bike, however, feels super planted on the road. Actually really love the weight of the bike. Yep, there, I felt that. Oh, randomly I felt that little kick in the engine. I don't know if that's normal or not. So when I shift gears, you can feel the little kick in the engine there. It's definitely letting you know it's there. Okay, one small thing too is that my heel keeps hitting the kickstand. The kickstand comes up, and where I usually ride on the balls of my feet, and my heel keeps hitting that kickstand with these boots on. Bike is pretty flickable, pretty easy to ride overall, for sure. I need to fix my helmet. Yeah, so as the RPMs slow down, the boxer engine sort of like kicks a little bit as the RPMs slow down. Interesting. Let's turn in here. Give the bike a look over, I think. Shifts feel really good. Still has that clunk everybody loves. I'm just gonna pull over right here. Seems to be a... See how easy it is to get a neutral? Not easy. There we go. Just kind of look at the bike while I fix my helmet here. Throttle is super crisp. Okay, as you can see, the bike does shake whenever it's in neutral. It shakes a lot, actually. I'd say it's there on point with Harley as far as the shaking, at least the Harleys I've owned. I'd say the Harley is a little bit more sporadic shaking. This one feels a little more controlled than the Evo engine I had in my Roadster. Exposed shaft drive is awesome. Interesting that there's a little rust discoloration there already. Yeah, beautiful bike. Let's get on it. Turn around up here and alright, so that's where you really feel the weight of the bike, is just lifting it off the kickstand. I don't know if you can see that here, but my heel rests on that kickstand, and if this were my bike, I'd have to adjust that shifter. Alright. Hard to get tired of that boxer engine moving like that when you rev it. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, the clutch engagement point is a little vague, actually. I can't tell if it's just the boxer engine or if I'm not giving it enough gas or letting the clutch out too early. Oh, just hit a bump there. Suspension is stiff, but it's good. It's not bad. The other thing that keeps me wondering on this bike is if you were to hit something, you know, usually if you were to hit something head on, you're definitely going to hit your shins or whatever on the cans. But I guess the point is not to get in the wreck at all. See what it's got. Alright. Brakes feel pretty good. Acceleration is definitely good. It's a little bit more linear than the Indian, I think. The Indian is a little bit more, once you get past a certain point, you feel a shift in the response, and then it just kind of takes off. This one's a little bit more linear all the way through. Yep. It's a little bit more linear on the way through, which I like. Okay, the other thing that keeps coming back to mind is every time the RPMs drop down, you feel the engine move, and then it sort of just nudges you a little bit, which is very interesting. Now at this moment, this particular one at my dealership, Nashville Motos, this particular bike is at 14,000, maybe a little bit over that, but for 14,000 for this bike is, in my opinion, quite a deal. All right. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're under-gassing the bike or not because of the engine shake. The heated grips work for sure, and they're very nice to have. And so this isn't going to be any highway test or anything like that. It's just where I am. It's just a really congested area. Yeah, it feels like I'm over clutching it or something. We'll see. Clutch play seems fine. It handles the bumps okay. I mean, it's for a cruiser, I think it's very acceptable. Yep, hitting bumps. So on the Indian, where you really feel the bumps are in your butt area or kind of down lower on the bike, but when you hit a bump on this one, you feel it more here in the handlebars, not really the back end. Yeah, so if I hit this bump, oop. I feel like this is also a longer bike than the Indian, so when you hit a bump on the Indian, it kind of goes boop boop. It kind of bucks you a little bit. So this one kind of smoothly transitions on the bumps. Yeah, and as you're turning, as you're giving it some gas, you know, or feathering out the clutch, you definitely feel that engine like sort of whipping back, which is just something to get used to, I think. So I rode a Moto Guzzi before, and this is a very different experience. Low speed is nothing on this bike. It's super easy. Like once you get going, all that weight disappears. Yeah, the other thing I thought I would feel too is the heat coming off the engine. It is, you know, like a cool 55 today or something like that. But I figured I would feel some heat coming off the engine, and really it's a non-issue. Okay, turning on this is pretty easy. I do like where the bars are at, but if it were my bike, I would probably just rotate them up just a little bit, because right now kind of straight on here. It's still a comfortable spot to be, but I'd probably rotate them up just slightly. The fit and finish is definitely what you would expect on BMW. The other thing I'm noticing is these crash bars here, they look like they just extend just past the jugs, so if you do drop it, there is some crash protection there, but if the ground is unlevel to any degree, you'll probably still hit your jugs. But it's nice to know that they won't take the brunt of the impact. On my other crash bars that I have on my Triumph, the crash bars connect in 3 places, and this connects in 2 places. So I kind of wonder if in a drop that it would actually not impact the frame or not buckle under pressure. But the seating position is very comfortable. I'm 6'1", I'm 195, a little bit over 200 with all my gear on, but the seating position is very comfortable. The only thing that I think you just get used to is the, you know, every once in a while touching the jugs. But for me, I think if this shifter lever was adjusted correctly, I think I'd be alright. Another thing about that left shifter lever, it's kind of, here's where your foot peg is, and the shifter lever is here, so you kind of have to go in and around it like that. Still not a problem. All this stuff is stuff you could get used to. So I don't know if this translates on the camera, and I keep saying it over and over again, as this engine is shaking, and you feel just like shake, 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 little bit of kick. Shake, 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 little bit of a kick. And I guess that's what this bike is all about, is just the character of that Boxer engine. And the more I ride it, the more I'm actually really liking it. Yeah, the only other thing about the fit and finish is great, but the way this is positioned here, I don't know if this is adjustable. It is? Well, I don't know. The way that's positioned, it's literally reflecting this part of the tank back onto it, so that bottom part is a little bit hard to read in certain lights. I think if it was just angled a little bit, it would solve that issue. I don't know if that's adjustable or not. Alright, heated grips off. Let's put it in rock mode. Ooh, can really feel that engine kick. Alright, so throttle response, it's definitely a lot quicker. A lot more snappy. Yep. Yep. Hey, there we go. Bike definitely wakes up. The engine braking is really nice too. Yeah, it feels like my Indian when I put it in sport mode or rock mode. Has a lot of pull right away. So I think what's happening is it just changes the throttle response, and you get a lot more at the beginning, a lot faster. Well, let's try it. Let's do rain mode. Alright, a lot more tame. I feel like I'm gonna kill the engine there. Let's go back to roll. Alright, sweet. We're back on roll, baby. Overall, I feel like the bike feels really premium though. It's just a really premium place to be. Especially when you look down. That view never gets old, but don't look down too much because of traffic. Yeah, roll mode is definitely the sweet spot with the gear, with the throttle response here. Just really predictable. Wow. Alright, our test drive is about to come to an end. Let's pull in here and take one last look at the bike, and I'll put it back where I found it. Ooh, handlebars have a really wide lock point. Oh yeah, that lock is pretty wide. Snappy kickstand, I like that. Super nice. Alright guys, what a beautiful bike. I'm going to go in here and talk to them. See what it takes to own one of these things. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in. It's Bert's Bike. I'll catch you on the next one. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff.